Right, let's show you the healing build I'm using in the Murkmire patch. It's pretty much the same as what I would run in the Somerset patch. Not much has really changed, just odd bits and bats. I will start off with the equipment. So I used the Restoration Staff Amending infused with a Weakening. It does stack, so it's a 452 from the Weakening enchant and it's a 430 from the actual buff. So all you got to do, light attack, spring, it's both on there. Spring again, light attack again, there you go, it's up. Easy enough to keep up, maybe not 100% of the time, but it's easy enough to keep up. So that's that staff. I use that with the jewellery, it's just easier to get the 5-piece that way, plus you get the jewellery in gold. Veteran AA is pretty easy to use, easy to complete, sorry. 2 Magicka recoveries, 1 spell damage, all arcane. It has buffed it all pretty much. You get the Magicka recovery, max Magicka healing done. The next set is the Olorim set, found in Cloud Rest. Easy enough to run through on pokes or as a team. It's a pretty quick dungeon. Don't see the point in running the Perfected. It only adds an extra K Magicka. It's probably only going to add a few hundred to your healing. Ideally, you want the big pieces infused and the little pieces divines. I've got a few pieces missing and I ended up golding that out before. The helmet and the shoulder, you can use either Earthgore, Bogdan's, Sentinel of Recagarms, Troll King. You can use quite a few. The reason I use Bogdan's is because you've got a burst heal, you don't need Earthgore. Usually you coordinate that with a second dealer to have Earthgore. I do have it, but I very rarely use it on a Templar, as you can get upwards of 25 up to 30k Breath of Life, so there's no need for that. Try stats on the big pieces, all Magicka on the other pieces, and the food to use is the Witch Mother's Brew, because I'm an Argonian, you do get more health, but even on the high elf you end up at around 16.4k Magicka. With your shields and all the healing that comes out, there's no need to really need any more health. The pots that you can use either just the normal trash pots, just hope that your tank's got the molten armaments, but if not, it's not a problem, or the spell power pots, and make sure you have the alchemy medicinal use passive. It's just so the buffs outweigh the time it takes to cool down, so you end up with it 2.6 seconds longer. That's the gear, the CP. This is how I run the CP. It is different on the Alcast page, but I just prefer it this way. 23 into the Thaumaturge. That makes no sense to have that passive, but it's just for the extra bit of damage as a healer, just to assist the DPS. Nothing there. 100 Blessed, 81 Elfborn, 56 Elemental Expert, and 10 into Spell Erosion. 40 into Shadow One, Tumbling, mainly just for the Treasure Hunter passive. 75 in Arcanist and Tenacity. Usually you wouldn't need the Tenacity, but with Argonians you don't really have as much regen as a high elf would, so that's the reason I've got that there, just in case when something's off balance. Warlord 40, it was just the last lot of points to build me up to 1602. In the red, 49 Hardy, 49 Elemental Defender, 48 Thick Skinned, 43 Spell Shield, 81 Ironclad. It's a CP done. I didn't explain the back bar either. I use Infuse Shock with a weapon damage enchant. That is just because when it's down, your Berserker ticks off and it'll just tick again straight away. There you go, another 4 seconds. Reapply, and it'll tick again. 100% uptime if you can keep your blockade up in a fight, and it'll tick over again now. Reapply. Simple, easy damage. So that is all the gear explained. So now is the skills. So on the front bar, on the healing bar, very rare I do use the Breath of Life, but sometimes you do need it. It's a good save. Healing springs are must. Always keep them down, especially if you're running mending. Always keep that buff up. It reapplies, it's got no cooldown. You can see it keeps ticking back for 2 seconds. It's got no cooldown. And it's Magicka, that's just for a little shield. Since shield's got nerfed anyway, it is a pretty pointless skill, but it's more for the Argonian sustain. When you're getting hit by anything, it'll give you Magicka back. Same with the healing springs, gives you 338 Magicka for each friendly up to a maximum of 3. Combat prayer also procs mending, and it also gives everybody in the team an extra 8% damage. It just stacks for everything there. The last skill is usually a flex spot. Is this? It's dependent on your team. You can use either Radiant Oppression, help with a bit of DPS and execute phase, Radiant Aura, just to help with mass Magicka steal, so it applies. I shouldn't really do this, but never mind. So like say if you're in between enemies, it applies mass Magicka steal to everybody. You can see the little thing coming off them. The next skill, you could use regen if you're in a fight that requires space. Healing ward, very rarely used now since it got nerfed. In a rage, if you are kind of off tanking or just helping pulling adds away from the boss, like if you end up in a dungeon where you need to kill all 3 bosses at the same time, one gets a little bit low health, pull it out of the group, let the DDs damage the others. But my favourite usually is the energy orb, just for the heal that it gives and the synergy as well. Efficient purge is also a really good one in that slot, just because it takes a while for that to get out to purge your extended rituals. So if you've got efficient purge on the front bar, literally push it, everyone's purged. No one has to use a synergy, it's just an instant purge. So I'll keep orbs on there for now. Replenishing barrier, the only reason that's there is for the extra Magicka regen, and also to help if you're training in trials or 4-man, you don't trust the people that you're in with if you're in a pug. Completely lost where it is, there we go. Replenishing barrier, 24.7k damage shield. Every time it dissolves, it gives you my ultimate and Magicka back as well. The back bar now, blockade of storms is just the best. It's the widest, the longest, the best morph to use of that. It applies off balance. Probably won't apply off balance as much as I'd like now it's not charged. It's probably not going to tick at all, probably not going to cast it. It does proc a lot easier. It's been a pain in the arse right now. Yeah, it's not blocking at all. But it will, as you've got Sorks, as you've got other people using lightning staffs, anything like that, it'll keep the concussion up time really high. Elemental Drain, no brainer. Everybody with a Magicka DD, it gives them breach, gives them Magicka steal as well. So like if I was to keep that up, keep my blockade on there, cast my healing springs elsewhere, as you can see the regen of the Magicka, it's just flying up. You can see it tick twice. So if I try and get rid of a lot of Magicka, which is pretty much how it wants to go, keep that up, stop blockade when it wants to go to the right place. So you'll see it'll do a tick and then a tick, 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 tick. It'll just keep going up, the Magicka just keeps going, and also it increases the damage taken by about, I think it's 10 to 15%, I think, I'm not sure. And the shards, the reason I choose Luminous is because tanks use Magicka and stamina. These shards give the largest pullback, the 3960, and the smaller pull 1980, just helps with sustain on support skills. The extended ritual is a cleanse for yourself, up to 5 effects, really good for purging. If you're solo, if you're running 4-man, this is a nicer purge to use rather than the efficient purge. Plus it's a heal over time as well. And when they use the synergy, you heal yourself instantly. And the channel focus, this is just for sustain. Just for the fact that, like, store it up. Once you You've got Ellie's Rain, once you've got your focus down. Flying back up. If you were to use pot as well, keep the recovery up, as you can see, spam the body. It's a lot of regen there. But to be fair, the regen itself is not that great on this character. It's only 3200. On the Warden I can manage up to the best part of 3800. Recovery, you don't need that much, but it really helps in trials or dungeons where you need to heal a lot of people. The ultimate on the back bar is the aggressive warhorn, just for the fact it gives the extra crit damage and it increases the stats, so your healing does a lot more. You can see on the side there's a lot of crits coming off that for over 4k. That's what the damage enchant going, that's a lot more. And if I was to use the spell power pots, as well as trying to keep this up, food's not going out. So the essence of spell power as well. So if I keep that up, try and get myself up. 2662 spell damage, 3290 magic recovery. 24k spell resist, that's just with being sat in there. Do that, drop it, it ends up at 25k resistances, it always resists as well with the nature reminders. And that is pretty much it. And another one as well, Orbs Rock, the mending, so if you are sat close enough to the enemy, I'm pretty sure it is 10 meter. It might even be less, that could be 8 meter. Well, it could be 10 meter. But yeah, it's always handy to have that, you can do it uptime 100% once you spam those orbs. Right, you could just keep them up. There we go, it's constant. Every time you cast it casts it off. And that's the easiest way to have more of a debuff healing build. The buffing healing build, the only thing I would really change is keep the Olorine and change the other pieces to Jorvalds. Or you could have the jewellery and staff of Olorine and keep the body pieces of Jorvalds, just to enhance more of the major minor buffs. On this build I was going to show Infallible Ether as well, but I've worked out that I didn't have a belt piece, and I really thought I did. But Infallible Ether on the body pieces, mending on the jewellery and staff is really strong. It then means you don't have to run a charged staff, because you basically, when you're using any heavy attack, you're applying the buff that you would get from the concussed from the charged shock staff, but you're getting an extra enchant in there as well, so you're basically applying off balance and you're getting your weapon damage enchant all the time as well. So it really means that you don't have to stick to a really strict way of playing. You can open more opportunities to do more things, like with the weakening as well. The weakening uptime is really powerful if you can keep them light attacks going. Just literally light attack skill, light attack skill, light attack skill, light attack skill, that's all it is. And the uptime on it is ridiculous. You need to do an heavy attack. The ticks from the heavy attack also from it. And that is just pretty much it. There's nothing else to go over. Everything into Magicka, that's pretty much it. Vampire was only chosen because I made this a PvP healer, and I just wanted to get the passives from the Vampire just for the recovery and the undeath. As for the other passives, I run full 7 light armor just for the recovery as well. Passives pretty much in everything else. It's ideal to have just in case you try other skills out. Undaunted, all passives. as much passives as you can get in the Alliance War as well. The Argonian skills, alchemy, medicinal use. Apart from that, unless you're making a crafter, there's nothing else you really need on this character, and that's as much as you do.